You don't apply for Delta Force. You don't get invited either, not quite. You get called instead. You get a quiet tap on the shoulder from someone who has been watching you for a long time. Maybe you're a ranger. Maybe you're a Green Beret. Maybe you've done 3 combat deployments, and every one of your superiors has written the same thing in your file, saying, "This guy is different. This guy doesn't stop." That tap on the shoulder is the first test, because nobody explains what's coming. Nobody sits you down and walks you through a PowerPoint. You just get a date, a location, and a list of gear to bring. That's it. If you ask too many questions, that's already a problem. You show up. There are other guys there. Most of them look like you, quiet, calm, the kind of calm that takes years of hard situations to build. You don't know their names yet. You probably won't need to. Someone walks out and says a few words. No screaming, no theater, just information. Here is where you are going. Here is what you need to carry. Go. And that's how it starts.
The hills are not what breaks most people. The weight breaks people. You are carrying a rucksack loaded with gear, and it sits on your back like a second person, like someone mean and heavy who never gets off. You walk with that weight through mountains, through the dark, through rain that doesn't care about you at all. Nobody tells you how far you have to go. Nobody tells you the time limit. Nobody is running alongside you with a stopwatch shouting encouragement. That's the whole point. They don't want to see if you can run when someone is screaming at you. They already know you can do that. Every soldier can do that. What they want to see is what you do when no one is watching. Do you keep moving when your legs are on fire and you haven't slept in 2 days and you genuinely do not know if you are ahead or behind, or if this whole thing is already over for you? Do you sit down in the mud and wait for someone to come find you? Or do you put one foot in front of the other because that is the only thing left to do? Most guys sit down. Not because they are weak. These are some of the toughest soldiers the Army has ever produced. They sit down because the human brain, under enough exhaustion, will start making very reasonable arguments for stopping. You've already proven yourself. You've done enough. Nobody would blame you. You keep walking anyway.
You navigate at night with a map and a compass and your own head. No GPS, no radio check-ins, just you and the terrain and the dark and the weight on your back. If you get lost, you figure it out. If you're wrong, you correct it. You don't wait for help that is not coming. Days pass, you lose track. Sleep becomes something that happens in very short pieces, and you are grateful for every single one of them. Your feet develop problems you don't fully look at because looking at them makes them feel worse. And then one day, it stops. Not with celebration, not with a handshake and a speech. Someone just tells you to be at a certain place at a certain time. You go, you sit down in a room, and someone tells you whether you're still in or you're done. Most people are done. If you make it through selection, you are not in Delta Force yet. You are in the operator training course, and this is where they take everything you already know how to do and they make you do it better than you thought was possible. When it comes to shooting, you were already a good shot before you got here. Now you will become something different. You shoot in low light. You shoot through doorways. You shoot while moving. You shoot when you are exhausted and your hands are shaking, and there is a person-shaped target 3 feet away, and another one behind it, and another one to the left. You make the right shot every single time, because the wrong shot in a real mission doesn't just get you killed, it can get someone else killed, someone you were there to bring home.
When it comes to close quarters battle, a building is not just a building. Every room is a problem. Every door is a question. You learn to answer those questions very fast and very right. You stack with your team, you move through hallways the way water moves, filling the space, clearing it, moving on. There is no wasted motion. There is no hesitation that isn't paid for. When it comes to explosives, you learn to open doors that do not want to be opened. Quietly, when quiet is what the mission needs. Loud, when loud is the only option. You understand what different charges do to different materials. You know how much is enough and what too much looks like. When it comes to driving, not the way most people drive. You learn what a vehicle can actually do when the person behind the wheel stops being afraid of it. You push cars past the point where most drivers would stop. You learn to get out of ambushes. You learn to get into places and out of places fast, and in the dark, and with people shooting at you. When it comes to tradecraft, this is the part nobody talks about. Delta doesn't always show up in uniform. Sometimes the mission requires you to look like someone who sells electronics in a market, someone who fixes phones, someone who is just walking to a tea house. You learn how to be invisible in places where being American would get you killed. You learn how to move through a city, meet someone, pass information, and leave without anyone knowing you were ever there. All of this takes months, and at any point, if the people watching you decide you are not right for this, you are done. No big moments, no appeal. You just get a conversation, and then you're packing your bag.
When you finally get to the unit, you are expected to be quiet about it. There is no ceremony that the public ever sees, no big announcement. You have a new address and a new job. And most people in your life have no idea what that job actually is. Your family knows you are in the military. They know you go places and come back. They know not to ask too many questions. You didn't tell them that. They just learned it. The unit itself doesn't look like what most people picture. It doesn't look like a movie set. There are guys in jeans, guys with beards, guys who look like they could be plumbers or teachers, or guys who work at a hardware store. That is completely intentional. The most dangerous people in any room are usually the ones you don't notice. Your squadron is your world, a small group of men who know exactly what you are capable of because they have seen it. They have been tired next to you. They have been in buildings with you when things went wrong. There is a kind of trust that builds in those moments that has no equivalent anywhere else. You train constantly. Even when there is no operation pending, you are training. The skills you have decay if you stop using them. Close quarter sharpness fades, shooting slows down. You keep working because the moment you stop working and training is the moment you become less than what the mission will require.
The call comes at night most of the time. Not always, but usually, because the night is yours. You have trained in the dark so many times that it stopped feeling like a disadvantage a long time ago. For the people you are going after, the night is terrifying. For you, it is just the office. You get a briefing. Intelligence has been working on this target for weeks, sometimes months. You know the building. You know the layout. You know where the rooms are, where the guards are, what the guards do at 0200, where the target sleeps. You have rehearsed this in a mock-up that intelligence built based on satellite imagery and source reporting. You have run through the mock-up so many times that your feet know the turns without your brain having to think about them. You fly in low. The helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, they are the only people in the world you fully trust to put you on target. They fly at night, low and fast, with instruments that make the dark look like daytime. They know what they are doing the same way you know what you're doing. This is a team built from the ground up on learning from failure.
The first Delta mission, back in 1980 in the Iranian desert, went wrong before Delta ever reached the target. Helicopters broke down, a collision in the dark. 8 men died. The mission was over before it started. The world saw burning wreckage in the sand and asked if this whole idea of a special missions unit was a mistake. It was not a mistake. What followed was 40 years of fixing every single thing that went wrong that night. Better helicopters, better pilots, better command structures, better intelligence, better everything. The failure didn't kill Delta. The failure built Delta into what it became. You think about that sometimes. On the helicopter, in the dark, before the ramp drops or the ropes go out. Every lesson this unit knows was paid for by someone. The ramp drops or the ropes go out, and then you are moving, and thinking stops. There is no fear in the way people imagine fear. There is something else, something sharp and focused that turns the whole world into the next few seconds. The building, the door, the distance between where you are and where you need to be. You move.
The team moves like one thing. No one is waiting to be told. Everyone already knows. You've been through this building 100 times in your head and in the mock-up, and now you're in the real one, and the only thing different is the smell. Buildings have a smell that no briefing can give you. You file that away somewhere and keep moving. Rooms get cleared the way you trained. Fast, decisive. The people you're here for are in their building, and then very quickly they are not there anymore. Very quickly, they are on the helicopter. Within the minute, you are on the helicopter too. The door goes up and the aircraft tilts, and you are moving away from the target area at a speed that makes the whole thing feel like it might not have been real. But it was real. The weight of the person next to you tells you it was real. The way your hands feel tells you it was real. You are in and you are out, just in moments that feel unreal. That is the whole point of the mission. Back at the base, there is paperwork. This surprises people who hear about it. There is always paperwork. Intelligence needs to know everything, every room, every person, everything that was different from the briefing. What did the building smell like? What were the guards doing that didn't match the pattern? Where were things that weren't on the imagery? All of it goes into the system because the next team going into the next building on the next mission needs to know. This is the part of the job that doesn't end up in movies, the grinding accumulation of information, the constant cycle of mission and debrief, and training and mission again. The work is not glamorous. The work is mostly repetition. Repetition until the right thing is the automatic thing, until your body does the right thing before your brain has finished deciding. Years pass this way. You go places that are not on your passport. You do things that will never appear on your official record. You stand in markets and cities where nobody knows your real name, and you watch a target, and you pass information, and you walk away and fly home, and nobody on the plane knows what you just did. You watch news coverage of operations, and sometimes the coverage is wrong, and sometimes it is almost right, and either way you say nothing. That is the job. The job is to not exist in the way that most people exist. To do work that the country needs, but that the country cannot officially acknowledge. Your family sees you in pieces,
Home for a few weeks, then gone. Home again, then gone again. The people who have been doing this the longest have figured out a version of family life that works inside those gaps. It is not the same as a normal life. Nothing about this is a normal life. But when you sit in a room with your squadron and the mission goes through the phases and everyone comes back, there is something that lives in that room for a little while, something that doesn't have a name and doesn't need one.
The day eventually comes when it is time to stop. Your body starts to have a longer list of things that need attention. The knees, the back, the ears from years of noise that hearing protection only partially addressed. You have been doing this for a long time, and the cumulative weight of it shows up in different ways for different people. You transition out quietly, the same way you came in. No ceremony that makes the news. No official acknowledgement of most of what you spent your career doing. You go somewhere, you start something else. Some guys go into contracting, some go into security, some open a business and spend a few years surprising customers with how calm they are when things go sideways. The skills do not leave. The way you look at a room when you walk in, the way you clock exits without thinking about it, the way your brain automatically categorizes threats and non-threats in a crowd, the way problems that seem enormous to other people seem to you like problems that just need a clear sequence of steps. You were built for hard things. That does not go away.
Somewhere right now, there is a team in a helicopter flying low and fast toward a target that most people will never hear about. The briefing has been run, the mock-up has been rehearsed, the intelligence is as solid as intelligence ever gets, which means it is almost right and the team knows how to handle the parts that aren't. The ramp is about to drop or the ropes are about to go out. Nobody on that helicopter is thinking about the movies. Nobody is thinking about the patches on their sleeve or the legend or any of that. They are thinking about the building, the door, the distance between where they are and where they need to be. They have been building toward this moment for years. They are already moving in their heads. When the ramp drops, there is no hesitation. There is no turning back. Almost everybody now knows that the special force team called the Delta Force now exists, but the government and the people behind it has never truly come out to acknowledge it. But if you've never heard of Delta Force, that's by design. The most effective operators in American history are the ones nobody can point to in a crowd. No patch, no parade, no headline with their name in it. Just the work, done in the dark and done right in whatever ways possible. And somewhere out there tonight, it's still happening. Subscribe if you like this video, and if you want to go deeper, there's a lot more where this came from.